This is Louise for MMA Crazy. We're here with Cathal Pendred. How was your UFC debut back in Ireland?
It was amazing. It was, it didn't go as planned, the fight, but I turned it around and it got fight of the night, and the crowd were amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better way to start my UFC career.
How was that? Obviously the crowd was amazing. Having that behind you, did that give you, obviously you really turned that fight around. Did that play a part for you?
No, it was great to have them there, to turn around, but I would like to think I would have done that had there been, two people in the arena. I'm that type of fighter. I never give up. I always try to, when things aren't going my way, I will always try and turn them around. But having said that, I don't want to take anything away from the Irish crowd. They were the best crowd the UFC has ever seen, and having them roar and cheer me on as I came back, it was the best moment of my career.
And what kind of support have you had from the Irish fans going into this fight on Saturday?
Amazing. It feels like there's a whole country behind us, and it's amazing because only a couple of years ago MMA was quite an unknown sport within Ireland. There was very few people knew what it was, and the athletes weren't known. Like even Conor himself wasn't. No one knew who he was. And now we're all over the place. We're in the newspapers. And it feels like the country is behind us, and it's an amazing feeling to be doing what we're doing and then have our country behind us. It's a great feeling.
So you're fighting Gasan Umalatov on Saturday. What do you think of him as an opponent, and what were your initial thoughts?
He's a good fighter. He's in a couple of fights in the UFC. And initially, when I got given the opponent, I didn't know who he was. I had to look him up, and since looking him up, I've been impressed with what I saw, but not that impressed that I'm worried about anything. I'm very confident going into this fight. I know we have similar records, but I think if you look within those records, you'll see that I've beaten the better guys. I've had the harder path to the UFC, and that's going to be the deciding factor in this fight.
So what kind of strengths and weaknesses have you picked out? Have you watched any footage on him?
I watched little bits and pieces of him. Most of his wins seem to have come by submission. He's more of a grappler, like a lot of Russian guys coming from the Sambo background are. He's decent on the feet though as well. So I wouldn't say he has any weaknesses in particular, but there's nothing in his game that I'm looking at and I'm worried about. And everywhere I look at his, all the parts of his game, I compare them to my parts, and I believe I'm better than him everywhere.
Okay, so I was going to say, in terms of like styles, how are you going to match up?
I think it's going to be an interesting style. He seems to be more of a relaxed type fighter. I'm more of an aggressive, push forward fighter. So I think it's going to be me chasing the fight and pushing the fight the whole time, and I don't think he's going to be too happy with that. I think he's going to be out of his comfort zone, and I think I'm going to finish him early.
So how have the preparations been?
Being perfect. There's four guys from my team all competing within the space of a week. Conor just fought on Saturday, kicked us all off there with a massive win. Myself and Gunny are fighting on this card, and Paddy Houlihan is fighting in Canada on the same night a few hours later. So we've all been in training together. And the rest of our team have all been with us and pushing us hard, and training couldn't have gone any better. So we're looking forward to after Saturday night having an SPG and Mjolnir have another 4 wins under the books.
So how have the guys at SPG, and obviously your trainer John Kavanagh, how has he played a part in this training camp for you?
Just like he always does, he runs the show. He was coaching us day in day out. He went to Vegas a little less than 2 weeks ago with Conor, but we just kept ticking over doing what we were doing, and it's gone great. So now John has come straight from Vegas. He's back over here with us, and we're just ready to go.
And obviously Gunnar is on the main event for this one, and you had Conor main eventing back in Dublin. Do you look at that and do you think you're going to be headlining yourself, maybe, you know, someday down in the future?
Yeah, I know for a fact I'll be headlining UFC events soon enough, and it's not something I concentrate too much on because that's just what comes. All I have to focus on is in my training and my performances on the night of the fight. That's all I concentrate on. The rest will come, the main events and the big pay-per-view cards, all that just comes along. It's great that my teammates are in there beforehand. They can, I can get advice from them and see how they go about it. So
how do you see this fight unfolding on Saturday?
I see a first round finish. I'd love to submit. He seems to be a grappler. I'd love to submit him. We'll see what happens.
We look forward to seeing that. Thank you very much. Thanks.